But it is a privilege and pleasure for me as the Archabbot of St. Vincent to be here on this wonderful occasion, and my gratitude to Father Frank, to Mr. Daly, and to the board, and to the entire Benedictine Military School community for the dedication of this hallway to the Benedictines, and certainly the great tradition of the Benedictines, which goes over many centuries, is embodied in the presence of each one of you here today. There are a lot of people that have made a sacrifice so that you can have the opportunity of an education here at BC, and many of them are here with me this morning, and certainly your parents and those who have gone before you, grandparents, your family members, have made great sacrifices so you can have the opportunity to be here and to receive the education which you receive here at BC. BC for years has been the flagship school of Savannah, and we're proud of the great tradition. Many of those who are here this morning are products of this wonderful education, and also are making a great contribution, as are many of the other alumni of BC, not only here in Savannah, but in the state of Georgia, throughout the United States, and throughout the world. They're able to make that contribution because of the values, and values are important. Values are at the core of what we provide here, and the commitment that we make through BC and through the educational programs that are offered here. You know, when your parents and grandparents came to this country, and many of them from all different parts of Europe, some of them from Ireland, many parts of Europe, there was no welcome wagon to greet them. They came to this country and they were really forced to live on the fringes of society because they felt that education was so important, would give them an opportunity for not only for themselves, but for their children and grandchildren to enter the mainstream of American society. They made a commitment to education, and today we celebrate the continuation and the expansion of that commitment that they made on your behalf. I think one of the challenges that we face, all of us today in the world, is that there are many voices competing for our hearts and minds, many voices competing for your hearts and minds. And the important thing is that among those many voices is that the voice of Jesus Christ is heard loudly and clearly. So my hope is that as you come into this school each day, as you look at the crucifix that hangs on the wall, that you'll be mindful of the sacrifices that Christ made for all of us, and that those who are instilled with the faith of Jesus Christ continue to make on your behalf. We know that there again are a great tradition that we celebrate here today, and it's the continuation and the commitment that we make through the dedication of this hall, and also the expansion soon of the STEM wing that will enable us to continue to strengthen the educational opportunities. Again, not only so that you can have a greater intellectual mind, but also so that you can have the opportunity to have that change of heart that will enable you to realize that God has given each one of you unique gifts, unique intellectual talents, and He expects you to use those gifts and talents for the service of mankind. All of us have a responsibility for stewardship in the world in which we exist. Pope Francis recently wrote a beautiful encyclical on the environment called Laudato Si, in which he reminds all of us that we each have a responsibility for the environment. We each have a responsibility for creation. Each of us has a responsibility for the world that God has given to us. And so our confidence, our hope is that those of you who are graduates of BC will carry forward those values and be instruments, again, of God's ever-abiding presence in the world in which we live. So the education is not only an education of the mind, but also the heart. And our prayer, our hope is that your hearts will be filled with the generosity of God's love that He's expressed to us through creation, through the people that He has sent into your lives to enable you to become loving individuals, that you in turn will become a source of hope to those who come to you in need now and in the years to come. Again, my heartfelt gratitude to the board, to Father Frank, to Mr. Daly, to the entire BC community, to all the faculty, to the staff, to all who commit themselves to provide you with the best education possible so that you can go forward and be an instrument of God's grace and God's goodness to your families, to your communities, and to the world in the years to come. Again, I'm grateful for this opportunity and thank all of you for dedicating this section of the building to the great Benedictine tradition which we celebrate here at BC. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen, for the applause. And in recognition of the contributions made by so many monks over so long a period of time, from Belmont Abbey, from St. Vincent Archabbey, I would like to present to Abbot Douglas this dedication plaque, as we have the Brent Hall plaque, as we have the Barlow Learning Center plaque, as we will have the Brown Stem Wing plaque. This plaque is to honor the Benedictine monks who have served and will serve at BC. Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to extend gratitude on behalf of Abbot Placid at Belmont Abbey, with the monks of Belmont Abbey that carried on the tradition from 1902 up until 1967, and to all of my confreres. Many of them were teachers of many members of your board here today to gather. Father Elred, Father Conan, Father Albert, Father Meinred, all of whom were part of the great tradition of the Benedictines who have served here over these many years. So, again, my thanks to each of you, and the best of luck as you proceed forward, as the motto of St. Benedict, or the Benedictines are, forward, always forward, everywhere forward, which is also the motto of your campaign. To you, our continued prayers and gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug.